You've caused quite a bit of trouble, but I'm afraid it's over now. I'll ask you to drop your weapons and surrender.
So, has that ever worked?
You will drop your weapons and surrender to me.
You will realize what a complete idiot you are.
Master?
Revenge profits no one. I implore you not to throw your life away. Abandon this hunt.
You have your codes, I have mine. Always fulfill a contract.
Bendis, your lightsaber.
The attack claimed the lives of a delegation of Jedi and Republic officials on Nar Shaddaa. The apprehension of the individual responsible for these continued acts of aggression is our top priority. Senators, I assure you, the orchestrators of these attacks will be made to account for them.
The Republic just placed you at the top of its most wanted list. The list of charges is a kilometer long. Half of the stuff we didn't even do.
Mom would be proud.
Within the Old Republic universe, it is not only Force users and other beings with supernatural powers whose stories become legend. Unlike the tales of Revan or even the Emperor himself, often even bounty hunters have their legacy become one of legends. This is the story of the bounty hunter from Star Wars: The Old Republic. This story begins within the years of 3643 and 41 BBY. A rising prospect from the mercenary line of work travels to the scum and villainy-ridden planet of Hutta, a world that has long been controlled by the Hutt gangs and their leaders. Our bounty hunter has come to Hutta with ambitions to become an infamous mercenary for hire. They intend on doing this by entering a competition known as the Great Hunt. The Great Hunt was a sacred tradition to bounty hunters of all different species. You could find Trandoshians and even Wookiees looking to enter. Competing in the Great Hunt would have you searching for bounties across the galaxy, while another bounty hunter searches for the same target and with permission to shoot you on sight. In fact, it was necessary to kill the opposing hunter, chasing the same bounty as you. Whoever wins that fight and eliminates the target is the victor. Naturally, this event also attracted Mandalorians who are heavily invested with the Great Hunt tradition. It's important to note that the Mandalorians and their armies are currently allied with the Sith Empire and have been since the Galactic War around 40 years ago. The Sith Empire even allowed the Mandalorians and their partners to join the Sith Citadel on Dromund Kars to create an enclave. Our bounty hunter can be Mandalorian if they want to be, or they can choose to be a credit-hungry psychopath with no empathy. For this video and story, we will be assuming our bounty hunter is neutrally aligned and follows the bounty hunter creed while adhering to the core principles of a Mandalorian. To join the Great Hunt, however, one must first receive sponsorship from a known individual. This is why our bounty hunter has come to Hutta. They arrive and meet with their new mentor, who is named Braden. Braden offers his team's services to our bounty hunter and they humbly accept. A girl on the scene, known as Mako, is a high-tech nutjob. Using her superior knowledge of computers and some slight augmentation to her body, there is no terminal or station she can't hack into, making her the perfect ally for our bounty hunter's journey. Braden wants to see our bounty hunter succeed, so he guides them on the path to meeting Nemra the Hutt, a powerful gang leader who has more credits than he knows what to do with. It would be possible to seek sponsorship from them for the Great Hunt. There was just one problem with that. Nemra didn't want to surrender his sponsorship so easily, so it was on our hunter to do some side hustles to gain the gang leader's respect. While our hunter made progress on Hutter, making a name for themselves, an unknown rival named Tara Blood had caught word. Fearing that a new hunter would rise and challenge him, Tara decided to not allow the upstart hunter to have any advantage. He proceeds to locate Braden and had his crew kill him and everyone else there.
Move and you're dead. Now if you know what's good for you, you're gonna back out nice and slow. Oh, I know precisely what's good for me. Winning the Great Hunt won't merely be good. It will be splendid. When I win, the entire galaxy will know the name Taro Blood. And I'll charge extravagant fees for my services, won't I, Seddon?
The highest in the galaxy. Only the filthy rich will be able to afford you.
Taro Blood. I've heard of you. Nearly got crippled by the other Mandalorians at the Great Hunt 10 years back. Ah, yes, that. An unfortunate bit of history. This time, I plan to win. Of course, that will be simpler if my competition doesn't include rivals beyond my fellow Mandalorians. The Twi'lek Vibroblade Master from Ord Mantell? Gone. The Chiss droid builder fond of explosives? Gone. That just leaves your protege to remove.
Kunta chuta, kasuyali kulira, kanki kum.
You misunderstand. The rules forbid killing competitors before the allotted hour. Thus, the promising up-and-comers I mentioned are very much alive. I simply eliminated them as threats. And how does one slow a charging Gundark, Seddon?
Blast his legs out from under him.
Destroy the upstart's so-called crew. I'll be outside, innocently unaware.
Sorry, shoot to kill!
Too late, old man.
Luckily, Maker had joined our hunter earlier and avoided this fate. When our hunter and Maker learn of this through a security holovid, they both vow to take vengeance against Tara Blood and his crew. They saw one of Tara's cronies shoot and kill Braden. Naturally, another problem arises right after this. Nemra had already pledged a sponsorship to someone else, a Trandoshan hunter named Rask. There was only one option: kill Rask and take his place. After all, entering the competition now was personal. After finding and eliminating Rask, the hunter is able to return to Nemra and claim their sponsorship for entry to the Great Hunt. With a successful sponsorship, our hunter travels to the capital world of the Empire, Dromund Kars. Here they will venture to the Enclave within the Sith Citadel. Upon arrival, our bounty hunter learns that there is just one place left in the Great Hunt.
There's one spot left open in the Great Hunt, and over 36 hunters who got sponsorships.
It's okay. I brought over 36 rounds of ammo.
After speaking with the woman named Krista, our hunter is directed to a meeting with the other hunters and the Huntmaster himself, who oversaw the event. The Huntmaster's meeting explains that each hunter will have to complete 3 unique bounties to earn a spot in the final melee, which will decide who enters the Great Hunt. The notion of hunting bounties on Dromund Kars, a Sith-ruled world with murder at every corner, was enough to turn some of the hunters away. However, the majority would be staying and competing. Our hunter returns to Krista, who is now their appointed handler. After completing the bounties successfully, our hunter returns to the Enclave ready to enter the melee arena. However, Tara Blood was able to sabotage them by convincing the officials our hunter had died already. So when they arrived, the melee arena was about to start, but Krista was able to still help our hunter make it just in the nick of time. Naturally, our hunter succeeds in the melee arena and is the only one left standing after a fight to the death, earning and securing their place in the Great Hunt. Just after their admission was made official, Tara Blood barges in and objects to the hunter's participation.
This is a place of honor, a competition of elites. Mandalore will hear of this.
I sure hope you're not gonna cry.
With Tara Blood being unable to object, our hunter joins the Great Hunt finally. now able to compete against Tara as he was also a member of the Great Hunt. The female human Krista remains our hunter's handler and point of contact. Their first new order was to steal a starship from the spaceport.
Now, about your ship, there's a tradition for new hunters. You gotta steal one for yourself.
I can already tell this is gonna be a blast.
Once aboard their new fancy stolen starship, our hunter proceeds to the world of Balmorra, where they will receive the information on their first target for the Great Hunt. Admiral Ivanus, an Imperial military staff, one of high rank for that matter too. This admiral was responsible for the initial Imperial invasion of Balmorra, which was quite successful and has granted the Empire majority control of the planet in the ongoing conflict. It was our hunter's duty to track this admiral down and lure them out to be eliminated. Maker was able to discern a possible weak link in the admiral's chain of command, a lowly Imperial who seeks the aid of a bounty hunter and their discretion. Our hunter invests their time in this lead and is ultimately rewarded when their target comes to the surface to confront the Imperial our hunter had been working with.
Warned Colonel Sartius there were many problems with your strategies.
Silence, you pathetic excuse for an officer. I've come all the way here just to see you executed in person.
No, sir. I can explain. I just... You, bounty hunter, help the Admiral understand. Explain it to him.
Keep talking, Perel. I'm really enjoying this.
You brought a bounty hunter with you, Perel? What were you thinking?
Thinking is not one of Perel's strengths, Admiral.
What in the Emperor's name is that?
Murgia. What?
The name's Morgir, Admiral Ivanus. I'm a bounty hunter on the Great Hunt, and I am here to kill you.
In a rather fortunate turn of events, the opposing hunter who was also given this bounty had also infiltrated the Imperial's team and made their own way to this final meeting. However, our hunter was able to kill two birds with one stone without too much difficulty, guaranteeing success for the first bounty. The second bounty was located on Nar Shaddaa. Krista informs our hunter that they are to track and eliminate a deadly assassin named the Eidolon. This assassin used to work with the Hutt cartel and now has a power base on Nar Shaddaa where he claims to be unkillable. Our hunter is sent to capture the target so they can be brought back to the Hutt cartel. No one simply runs from that kind of life without consequence. After attacking his companies and exposing his secrets to the HoloNet, our hunter was able to lure the Eidolon into a confrontation. Once defeating them, the hunter may choose to mercy kill them, take them alive, or allow Maker to choose their fate. In this case, our hunter chose to mercy kill them, sparing them torture at the hands of the Hutts, while still accepting the glory of a complete contract. The rival bounty hunter who also had this contract had prior forfeit against our hunter. Fear got the best of them. Before taking on their third contract, our hunter is requested to take on a high-value mission. The Huntmaster's assistant explains to us that someone has sold the list of bounties from the Great Hunt to a slicer on Hutter. This puts the credibility and reputation of the Great Hunt on the line, risking public exposure to the hit list and their contractors. Due to the Hunter's quick rise in fame from so many successful missions so far, they alone were trusted with going to Hutter, finding the list and the slicer involved, then killing any witnesses. It was rumoured that an auction was going down for the list of names. Everyone in attendance was now a target. Our hunter ventures to Hutter and discerns that Taro Blood had given the information to the slicer, leaving only his own contracts out of the leak, meaning he was trying to cheat his way to winning the Great Hunt by exposing all other hunters and their contracts. After putting an end to the plot, our hunter retrieves the data and returns to the Huntmaster's assistant.
Glad to see you in one piece, Hunter. Is that auction dead and buried?
What auction? I don't know of any auction.
That's what I want to hear. Seems the Huntmaster was right about you. Talk to me. This was more than a grab and shoot. Did you find out how that slicer got the list?
All signs point to Blood. His targets were the only ones not on the list.
If that's your only proof, it's fairly circumstantial. Best keep those accusations to yourself. Taro's pretty influential among my people.
The next order of business was to report to the holocom and speak with Krista about the next target. Krista explains that Tatooine is the next location and the target's name is Tiresias Lurkai. However, due to the hunter's list being leaked on Hutter, some names made it through and Tiresias is one of them who got a tip-off that he's a wanted man. So tracking him down could be difficult. After chasing a few leads through the spaceport, our hunter is led to the cantina where they find their rival hunter. However, the rival hunter, a Rhodian named Vibu, decided to quit the Great Hunt and leave Tiresias alive. But that's not how things work. A fight started and Vibu met with his makers. Our hunter did find out from Vibu that the target is currently trying to work with a Ratataki female known as the Lady of Pain, who is also the crime lord with a base of operations on Tatooine. The crime lord negotiates with our hunter over the ownership of Tiresias. She asks the hunter to fight in her gladiator ring against her champion. If the hunter succeeds, they may take Tiresias with them. After facing the Gamorrean champion, the Lady of Pain keeps her word. However, Tiresias managed to escape during the gladiator fight and took a swoop bike with him. But that didn't stop the hunter from tracking him down in the Dune Sea, where he was attempting to repair his ship and escape. 2 weeks before, the rival hunter on this mission had found Tiresias and shot his ship down. No one knew where it landed, but now our hunter does. After many attempts of negotiating by Tiresias, our hunter accepts a new deal. Tiresias will join the hunter's crew under the alias of Galt Renner and pledge their services, expertise and contacts to the Great Hunt. A very enticing offer that our hunter accepts. Luckily for the newly named Galt Renner, he just so happened to have a quote-unquote copy of himself that can be used as his body double for the Hutts. After all, he was required to be brought back in dead. The plan works and the Huntmaster's assistant accepts the fake body for completion of the third contract. The next contract takes us to the world of Alderaan, which is currently plagued with civil war between the noble houses. The target is an Alderaan noble by the name and title of Duke Corwin. However, it would seem there was more to this mission than meets the eye. After a few short meetings with beneficiaries and a few haymakers later...
You're a slow learner.
Oh, stop that! You'll regret... Alright, quarter, I relent.
Our hunter tracks and confronts Duke Corwin within House Organa. But as it turns out, the Duke had actually died a few months prior and was being held in stasis within a Tunetank, being kept alive by the machines and flowing fluids. The Duke's sister had been impersonating him via a hollow disguise, as not to affect the morale of those allied with Duke Corwin, also known to the people of Alderaan as the Durasteel Duke, an icon and huge influence. The hunter agrees with the Duke's family to take the body and a bribe to keep the secret quiet. That way our hunter gets a complete contract and House Organa get to keep their secret and continue impersonating the Duke to improve morale amongst allies. When our hunter reports back of their success, they are informed that their rival hunter for this mission was disqualified. Yet another smooth ride for our hunter. Before any chance is given to proceed with the Great Hunt, a communication comes through with information just too delectable to pass up. An infamous bounty hunter named Hadar, who had actually won the Great Hunt 65 years ago and was the youngest to do so, contacted our hunter and told them that Taro Blood's allies are meeting on Nar Shaddaa to plot against them. Hadar gives them the coordinates and our hunter sets off immediately. Upon arrival, our hunter learns that in fact Hadar, the famous bounty hunter, is actually the mentor and teacher for Taro Blood and his allies. However, Hadar knows that Tara has been playing dirty and sullying the good reputation of honourable Mandalorians. Therefore, Hadar requests that the Hunter and Seddon, the person who shot Braden, have a duel to the death.
Consider yourself challenged, Seddon.
I accept. Relu, you'll fight as my second.
After our Hunter makes the challenge and swiftly wins, the other Mandos present betray Hadar in favour of Tara Blood and his new ways. They shoot their mentor in cold blood. Our Hunter reacts and shows them what a true Mandalorian looks like. In Hadar's dying moment, he insists to our Hunter that they find something to live for, a creed to live by. Do not become an empty shell. Our Hunter intended to honour his wish. Now that Tara Blood's crew was dead, there was nothing standing between our Hunter and their final task for the Great Hunt. With all contracts complete, Krista directs our Hunter to their final mission to claim victory in the Great Hunt. The target's name is Kellyan Jara, an infamous Jedi Master known for slaying Mandalorians. He was set to be on board a Republic cruiser named the Aurora. The Hunter's handler, Krista, also tips them off that Tara Blood also made it through to this round and is already on his way to the cruiser. Krista also informs them that the cruiser must be set to self-destruct, which they will do by sabotaging the vessel so that when it enters hyperspace the ship will rip apart with no protection. Our Hunter makes their way to the cruiser, and before they get a chance to dock, the Aurora itself sees them and grabs them with their tractor beam. Seeing as the goal was to get inside anyways, they let it happen. Once on board, a security captain questioned the Hunter and accused them of being involved with a conspiracy to kill the Jedi Master. Turns out Kellyan Jara had captured and interrogated Tara Blood already, who accused our Hunter and named them as an accomplice. A desperate last attempt by Tara Blood to sabotage the Hunter. The captain attempts to arrest the Hunter, which did not go well for them of course. They swiftly move on and eventually find Tara Blood locked up in his cell. The Hunter and Maker can decide a few different ways to end their vengeance, but in this case, they chose to leave him in his cell to die when the ship explodes. They made Tara aware of this and enjoyed turning their backs on a dead man. Braden and the crew were avenged.
Let him die when the ship is ripped to pieces.
Works for me.
No! You can't let me die like this! I'm Tara Blood, you worthless piece of filth! I'm the future of the Mandalorians!
So long, Slimeball.
Let me out, damn you! You can't do this to me! I'm Tara Blood! Tara Blood!
The Hunter proceeds to the ship's bridge, where they confront the Jedi and his Padawan. The Jedi will refuse to go willingly, and a fight ensues. After defeating Kellyan Jara, the Hunter allows the Padawan to leave, as they were not part of the contract. They set the bridge controls to the parameters they need and get the hell out of there, leaving Tara Blood to his explosive end. After their escape, Maker sends word back to the Enclave on Dromund Kaas of their victory. All that was left was to travel there and claim the position of the Great Hunt champion. Once they arrived, a ceremony was held. The Huntmaster's assistant had informed the Hunter that Mandalore himself wished to meet with them, so after the celebrations, the next stop was Mandalore's flagship, the Spirit of Vengeance.
Mandalore, your champion presents himself.
Glad a little war wasn't enough to keep you from meeting me, champion. I like a man who's not afraid to get his knuckles bloody.
Meeting Mandalore meant new opportunities for glory, fame, and credits. Mandalore instructs our Hunter to go to Dromund Kaas and participate in a Mandalorian blooded tradition. They must enter the depths of Dromund Kaas' horrific caverns, slay a monstrous beast, and come back with a trophy. If our Hunter succeeds, then perhaps Mandalore will offer them a grand opportunity. When our Hunter arrives to the caverns, many Mandalorians had already set up camp. This is where you are introduced to Tori and Kadira. The Mandos tell our Hunter that the beast inside has slayed everyone who entered, none have returned. However, this just served to stoke the ambition within the hunter as they proceed to enter the caverns. When inside, it's evident that many Mandalorians had been killed, crushed, and even mutilated. Deep inside the complex tunnels, the mighty beast reveals itself, and our hunter and his companion live to seek credits another day. The beast is slayed and the trophy is taken, its heart. Upon returning to Mandalore and presenting the trophy, Mandalore is most pleased. Our hunter is invited into an exclusive Great Clan that heralds the champions of the Great Hunt over the last many decades. Our hunter would actually be replacing Mandalore's position in this Great Clan, so Mandalore himself could see to other duties, such as his relations with the Sith Empire and their ambitions. The hunter gracefully accepts. Being in this exclusive clan meant our hunter now had access to the Blacklist of bounties, the highest paying and most dangerous bounties in the galaxy.
Been waiting my whole life for this. I'm honored.
Your life's just begun. Make it one no one will forget.
Champions, it's time we drink. Let's see how much black ale my replacement can put away.
After celebrating, our hunter takes their first Blacklist encryption and makes their way to Taris. Taris is now a swamp-riddled planet that still feels the effects of Darth Malak's bombardment 300 years ago. Once arrived, another Great Hunt champion named Bloodworthy contacts the hunter to give them the details. Turns out that this particular contract is more of a first-timers tradition for the Blacklist. Their target is a rogue Mandalorian named Jacoln Kadira. He also happens to be the father of Torian Kadira. Over the past 10 years or so, many bounty hunters have tried and failed to bring Jacoln in. So now there is a long-lasting bet that no one can complete it, so our hunter must pay an ante and attempt to complete the impossible contract. On the surface of Taris, the hunter is able to follow leads through another Mandalorian he meets, named Commander Fett. As it would turn out, Torian Kadira was also on Taris and looking to restore honor to his family name by taking out his father.
Bad idea, kid. Now, you gonna tell me what you're doing out here?
More what I had in mind.
Torian joins the crew as his goals are mutual to our hunters. After a wild goose chase and even being shot at, eventually Jacoln Kadira is cornered. Given that Torian had unfinished business, the hunter allows Torian and his father a final moment together. Then after, allowing Torian to make the call on what happens next.
Artaldin, Nija Onnish, Garsabui, O Rewa Dasla.
I'll do our name proud.
The words Torian spoke to his father were, "Nobody cares who your father was, only the father you'll be." With the impossible contract complete, Bloodworthy and the other contacts for the Blacklist are all pleasantly surprised. Our hunter is the 28th person to take the contract, and the 12th to return alive. The Mandalorians take custody of the body, and Torian Kadira will permanently join the hunter's crew. Soon after, Mako gets a transmission with an offer for our hunter to partner with a DAS corporation and endorse their products. The meeting point was on Quesh, however, it turned out to be a setup to arrest the hunter. The Padawan of Kelly and Jaro and Republic SIS had arrived to intercept the hunter. However, as usual, it did not go well for our hunter's opponents. By now, the galaxy should be learning that our hunter comes heavily equipped and a trigger finger just itching to pull. With the ambush dealt with, the hunter returns to their ship and receives word from Bloodworthy of their next Blacklist contract. The client was a member of the Chiss Ascendancy and required help with a pirate lord on Hoth, a Trandoshan pirate named Voss. On the surface of Hoth, our hunter is able to interrogate a Jawa named Blizz, who has useful information about the pirates. Blizz is compliant enough though for the most part and seems to win over the hunter's favour. Using Blizz's information, the hunter tracks Voss and his allies down. Our hunter had to deal with many pirates, but eventually the pirate lord began to take this new threat seriously. After a beatdown, the hunter takes Voss alive and returns him to the client in a carbonite bath.
The pain's just starting for you, lizard.
With the Jawa proving to be so useful and hands-on with engineering, the hunter decides to adopt them into the crew as their latest member. After yet another successful Blacklist bounty complete, the other Great Hunt champions arrange a celebration for our hunter on Nar Shaddaa. But once again, the Republic SIS and Jedi had set an ambush. Before our hunter arrived to the party, everyone was killed.
Come on, Mako. Time to party.
I'm sorry. They refused to cooperate. No sign of the fugitive.
The hunter fights and kills the SIS and Jedi involved. A Jedi Master is on the Hollow who informs the hunter that they will be brought to justice for their so-called crimes. When the crew regathers back on the ship, they learn that the Republic Chancellor has made a galaxy-wide announcement of the hunter's involvement in war crimes, placing the hunter on top of the galaxy's most wanted list.
The attack claimed the lives of a delegation of Jedi and Republic officials on Nar Shaddaa. The apprehension of the individual responsible for these continued acts of aggression is our top priority. Senators, I assure you, the orchestrators of these attacks will be made to account for them.
With Mandalore away and busy, along with the other Great Hunt champions being dead and gone, it was up to just the hunter to clear their own name and or fight their way to freedom. Given the fact our hunter had so much heat on them right now, nobody wanted to hire them for a job. Except one Sith, named Darth Tormen.
Choose your words as if your life depends on them pleasing me.
Let's play nice with this one, please.
This Darth summons the hunter to his personal flagship, where he offers them salvation. If the hunter completes a series of contracts for the Darth, he will help the hunter find the Jedi Master who kept setting him up. Our hunter accepts the offer and reports to the world of Belsavis for their first contract. The target was a Republic privateer named Zale Barrows. While hunting the target on the surface of Belsavis, the hunter meets the gangster known as Skadge, a brutal, heavy-fisted hook. Turns out Skadge also has it in for Zale Barrows, so he tags along and helps the hunter find his quarry. When they corner Zale Barrows, the hunter allows Skadge to kill him, as this was the deal they made when they joined forces. Skadge's help in exchange for Barrows' death. Skadge decides he wants to join the crew, and the hunter accepts. Upon returning to the ship, the crew finds out that thugs have captured Torian Kadira and are holding him ransom on Hoth. It didn't take long for the hunter to arrive and deal with the situation as expected. With that said and done, they return the news to Darth Tormen of their first contract being complete. Darth Tormen is pleased that his first contract is dealt with already, sending the hunter immediately to the next target, who is located on the world of Voss. The target was a Republic ambassador named Felonia Redrish. This ambassador was working with the native Gormak species of the planet, trying to help broker an alliance between them and the Voss. The hunter allows these relations to improve, but they do corner Felonia and give her a carbonite bath. Second contract for Tormen is complete, and so our hunter returns to Tormen's flagship. However, the ship was under attack.
My lord, it's a relief to see you unscathed.
After retaking the ship with Darth Tormen's help, The Sith Lord explains the plan for vengeance and the third contract. The world of Corellia is currently at conflict, and neither Empire nor Republic hold total dominance yet. It would be the Hunter's task to locate and capture the leading figures of Corellia, to force them into signing a treaty that benefits Darth Tormund's agenda. Once this was complete, it would force the Republic Chancellor to arrive into Corellia's orbit. Darth Tormund also explains that the Jedi Master who kept setting up the Hunter before was named June Seros, and he would be arriving with the Republic's Supreme Chancellor.
An intruder!
Go. Do your part to liberate Corellia. This is a private matter.
You don't want to get in the middle of this.
Are you certain, June? You know what's required of you. Go. As you wish.
May the Force be with you.
You're persistent. Stubborn. I suppose that's why you excel at what you do, but the price is high. What won't a Mandalorian put aside for pride?
I'd meet death head-on for a comrade.
But would you kneel? You chose to murder Kelly and Jarl, just like you chose to kill everyone sent to bring you to justice. You could have surrendered at any time. You chose to become a murderer and terrorist. I only turned all that senseless destruction toward a righteous purpose.
Killing my associates and slinging mud? Real noble.
They made their decision, just like you made yours. If using you to expose the Sith's true face has dirtied my hands, so be it. It's time to answer for your crimes.
When I'm finished, you'll be glad no one was here to watch you die.
I won't be the one after all.
Now whose pride's getting them into trouble?
Savor your vengeance. It's a small victory. You've denied me nothing here. In failure, I've undone all your accomplishments. In death, I return to the Force.
What are you playing at, Seros?
I've lost the battle, but won the war. By now, my peers are well on their way to rescuing your captives and tearing up your sham treaty.
With the Jedi Master dead and gone, no longer posing a problem, it was time to move on to the big fish. The Hunter makes their way to the Republic Chancellor's flagship. Darth Tormund had instructed them to capture the Chancellor, which also gives the Hunter the opportunity to clear their own name of the things they did not do. When confronting the Chancellor, it's possible to broker a deal in which you must betray Darth Tormund, or it's possible to stay true to the contract and not burn any bridges within the Sith Empire. In this case, our Hunter decides to play by the rules. After all, they got what they wanted anyways with the capture of the Chancellor.
I agreed to this hunt. I keep my word.
After escaping the flagship like a complete legend, the Hunter returns to Darth Tormund with the Chancellor captured.
Today we have shaken the galaxy to the core. All will know our names and tremble. Relish it. There will be other victories, but none this sweet.
You should have seen him beg.
I will see the Dark Council bow their heads to me in veneration.
The bounty hunter's efforts on Corellia place Darth Horman in high esteem with the Dark Council, and the hunter's actions are noticed by the likes of Darth Maar, who in future will look to employ their services. The hunter has achieved the pinnacle of glory and fame within the Empire and Mandalorians. Their name is cleared of all charges they didn't commit, and a new day is just waiting around the corner. Now when their name is uttered, scum and villainy runs and hides. By now, the Treaty of Coruscant is broken, and war has begun to rise across all systems. Now the most famous and skilled hunter in the galaxy, and their crew, await the next contract, whoever the client may be.